Hello, friends. Welcome to my 2018 walkthrough so far with Yogi with a Bujo. So, I decided this year to bring my bullet journal into a Hobonichi cousin. So, I bought the cousin actually as my work planner. But then the more I played around with it for work, the more I thought, maybe I can make this work as my personal bullet journal. So I'm going to try it out. I'm going to play with it. I don't know if it's going to work, but I have a Lorkdom to go back to just in case this setup doesn't work for me. So the reason I decided to do this was I found in December I was having a hard time working through my bullet journal because when things got busy, I stopped making the monthly spread and the weekly spread, and I just went to working with dailies. But then that presented some challenges with organization and making sure everything got done. So, what really appealed to me about the cousin was first of all having a year in one place, but also being able to have the monthly and the weekly already laid out for me that I could play with as I wanted, but I was still able to plan ahead with working the back pages as the bullet journal. So, just a few things about how I decided to work with this. So, I started with a mandala on the cover page, just a simple black and white to start out with. And I have every intention of throughout the year filling out the first two cover pages, maybe even going to covering up the calendar with mandalas. I've just found it's a really great stress relief for me, and I don't find myself particularly artistic. So just picking something and repeating it all the way around the circle and creating something beautiful at the end is just really fulfilling to me. I've decided to use the year at a glance as my gratitude journal. So each day I will write something I'm thankful for. So over the course of the year, these two pages will be filled with gratitude. I'm thinking about having the top three as my big three, either my wins or things I really want to remember over the course of the month. And I'm not sure how I'm going to use the spots on the bottom, but I'm sure I'll think of something. So this is how I'm using the monthly spread just as a month at a glance. So I've color coded with work, yoga, coaching, and personal items that I'm putting on this page. This is one place where you can already see that I'm really trying to figure out how the paper gets along with the highlighters, gets along with my pens. So this system is definitely a work in progress. I have my color coding down. I am using mild liners for January. I envision this color scheme changing from month to month. But for January, these are the mild liners I've chosen. And I also wrote on the bottom what they each were so I wouldn't have to go back to my guide every time. I assume that'll come off with fingernail polish remover if I want to switch it up, but if not, that's okay. So there are monthly spreads all the way through March of 2019. So I decided to use the monthly spread for January of 2019 as my goal tracker. So I'm still really working on what I want my goals to look like for December or for 2018. But I know distill is my word of the year. I have my core desired feelings up top: cozy, connected, present, full up, and free. I love full up. And then the yoga still slash work, so my side gig and my 40-hour week job. Ritual I want to create for myself, things I want to learn, how I want to experience community and relationships, how I want to manage my money, how I want to manage my home, and then personal wellness. So I envision this being somewhat of a bullet journal, things either getting completed or crossed out or moved down with new things added. So we'll just go month by month. So we'll have January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. And then who knows what this page will end up being. Which brings me now to my weeklies. And again, I just really liked having this set up for me, but still it being so blank and the lines being sort of like a bullet journal. I could make this my own. So I decided to do an intentional, a time intention and a time tracking here. So using my Mildliners for each category, I use a highlighter end to mark how I anticipate spending the time. And then I'll be using the marker end in the next column to fill in how I actually spent the time. So not only to see what time I'm spending where, but also how realistic my intentions are compared to what actually happens. These are places for my goal progress for the week. Completing an AM ritual 5 days, cleaning the house for 20 minutes for 5 days, my work list done at work for 3, and then other things I want to do. I have my mantra for the week here. I have my little tracker to track check-ins with my life coaching clients, and then a space for bills down here. Yay, no bills this week. And then during the time that I would be sleeping, I just created lines across the bottom to track my food. So breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. So the weekly pages continue, the weekly spreads continue all the way to this blank page that separates the weeks from the dailies. I went ahead and started a mood in pixels, which I really enjoy. I think it's going to be really nice to see what patterns come up on certain days of the month, like how my cycle impacts my mood. I'm sure I'll end up putting this in the bullet journal somewhere, putting it in here forever. But right now I just have on my page board just a little code with what Tombows I'm using to fill in the mood in pixels. So I have the number and then what that is. I also am toying with the bottom of this page being books I've read this year. I don't know what this page is going to be yet. I'm sure I will come up with something. I'm sure I'll see something on YouTube or Instagram to fill this page long before the year is over. So I decided to use the daily pages as a bullet journal. I'm going to try really, really hard to ignore the date up at the top and just to treat the pages like blank pages in a bullet journal. So this may be January 19th. This may not be the 19th. It may be a collection. I'm not really sure how that's all going to fall out yet, but I really like it. I think it's something that I'm willing to try. So this is going to be my mood mandala for the month. Again, I finally found a color system that I really like how it looks. I spent the last few months of 2017 trying to find what really felt good to me as far as a color scheme. And this is what I finally decided on. I should have marked these dates. I played with the primary color scheme, not a fan. The brights was really bright. It was nice for a while, but then it felt just a little too bright for me. So I really like this pastel color scheme for my mood tracker. So this will stay the same throughout the course of the year. And the mood tracker here will also match the mood in pixels over here. So I'll have a monthly view here and then a yearly view here. So I'm also going back to the way I really enjoy bullet journaling, which is just a header and then whatever notes I need to make for the day. It just feels really nice to me to be able to take what room I want. Some days it's 3 to a day. Some days I use more, sometimes I use 3 or 4 in the course of a day. But being able to use this flexibility in the back pages, the daily pages of the Hobonichi. So at the end of all of the daily pages, I hope I have enough squares. I think I do enough lines to do my habit, symptom, and other tracker for all of the days of the year between this page, this spread, this page, and then finally flipping over and using this page as the final page. It looks like, if I've counted correctly, I'll end down here. So I'll get a really nice picture of how my days look the same and how different things impact how I feel. So I'll mark my blood pressure here, track my habits here, symptoms here, and then here is where I track my sleep, mood, energy, and productivity. So each have a different color. I'll find one eventually. Each category has a different color, and then I just grade it on a scale of 1 to 10, and then notice, and then notice how the trends fall. So sleep is this teal color, mood is orange, energy is purple, productivity is green, and food is pink. This is just quality of these things. So I'm not counting calories, I'm not counting the hours that I sleep, I'm not counting how many hours a day I work. It's just quality. So what I like is being able to see how tracking these things, what it has in common with my symptoms and my habits. As you can see, I really simplified my habits. I think I was tracking like 18 here, and I'm down to either 8 or 9 habits this year. So just to be able to see how everything correlates. And then here I'll just have the quality of my mood will be tracked. But then I can always come back here to my mood and my year in pixels and be able to see also what correlates there. So that is just a basic flip through of this year's Hobonichi. I plan on coming back and talking a little more about my color coding system, about the journaling system that I've decided to try for this year, and about all of the different writing utensils that I've pulled in to use this year. So that's how 2018 is looking for me so far. We'll see what works. I have a lot of questions. I have some reservations, but it's the fun of figuring things out. I may very, very well be back in a Leuchtturm the next time you see me. We'll see. But until then, happy 2018, and I'll see you very soon. Be sure to like or subscribe, and we'll talk soon.